it's a cracking area to watch the race. There's a lovely sea park over on the far side of the track, so I would advise for you guys to go. Anyway, before we get into any of that, we have got 3 guys in the commentary box once again, but we've got a unique experience tonight, so we're kind of taking a bit of the old champ car kind of thing. If no one knows what champ cars is, that used to be that really crap American series like used to go on between 2006 sometime. Anyway, yeah, so in the commentary box with me we got 2 experts again. We got Nolsey, aka Prize Kumquat, and I've also got hello. I've also got Todd as well, who is actually in his car, so he's going to be giving us some inside scoop and telling us what's going on. So basically it's like our version of the team principals kind of thing. So, but instead of obviously talking to the team principals, we're going to be talking to Todd during the race. So hopefully Todd has a good race, and there's no issues where he crashes out to begin with. So
I hope not.
Yeah. Anyway, we are coming from the Hungarian Grand Prix, and I'll ask for both the guys' opinions in a minute on what they are expecting. But yeah, I think it's a technical twisty circuit, and and hopefully we'll it's like Monaco without the barriers basically. So we're just getting ready. We have got 19 drivers, so we almost had 20, which is I was really hoping we'd get 20 today, but oh well, that's still a healthy grid. And also, yeah, and we'll go for the championship standings in just a second as well, because the championship was really bunched up after our last summer out in Germany, where unfortunately the championship leader Hunter didn't have a very good race that last weekend. So yeah, sorry to remind him of that. So I don't think he's going to be too pleased with me. Anyway, as a Gunar's retired, but I think that's because he's got a qualifying ban after the misdemeanor he had in Germany. Anyway, Nolsey, what do you expect from this race meeting?
Well, hopefully it's a nice and dry race, and everybody can get going and not have to worry about the weather. We'll hear a bit from Todd in a minute on that, but yeah, hopefully I think the front runners as usual will be up in front, obviously carrying on their battles. Hopefully there'll be a bit of surprise. I'm banking on maybe Dan getting some good times in as well. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Strategy for this one, probably if you want to do a one-stop, softs, mediums, although probably for quite a few of them will try and get through to Q3 on super softs.
Yeah, the tyre allocation for the Hungarian Grand Prix is ultra softs, super softs, and soft tyres.
Sorry, I meant ultra softs, not super soft. Sorry.
Oh, no, I didn't even notice.
They caught me out. They caught me out.
And yeah, Charles, I didn't mean that. I didn't even realise you said so the tyre allocation is the ultra soft, the soft, and the medium. So as we're just watching our debutant now is Catargo, I think, from Brazil. He's our resident Brazilian driver. Every league has to have a Brazilian driver, and hopefully he can get some good pace. So I'm looking forward to see what Catalargo can do. I need to ask him how to pronounce his name, because I always butcher people's names, as you've heard throughout this league all the way through this season so far. But yeah, so we're in Q1, and the objective of this is, as we got a McLaren right off the track there, so obviously just taking the scenic route, and yeah, we're losing 4 cars, well 3 cars, because Gunnar is out already due to his misdemeanors in Germany. So we're just about to start a couple of flying laps in, so we'll see the pace now. And we've already heard Nolsey's intake on what he's expecting going to happen. Of course, Nolsey has a very interesting strategy for qualifying. He seems to go out on the softest tyre, has a blitz, and then it kind of teases us and slows down right towards the end. I remember someone else doing that back in the day as well.
It's just trying to make it confusing for commentators, actually.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take much to confuse me, I've got to say. We're watching a Dark Plague now in the Sauber. Whilst the Dark Plague's out and he's gone a bit wide there, he's alright by the looks, because he's carrying on. But in the championship then, we've got a 10-point difference between Hunter and Nigel. Since Nigel's debuted in ALR, he has been on the podium in all his races. He has been absolutely immense, and he is now only 10 points behind Hunter, and could potentially take the lead in the championship this weekend. We got Murphy, who's dropped down to 3rd position, but he is only 16 points behind as well, so it's really bunched at the top of the league. and then we've got NWB, who is only a point away from Murphy. So look at that, the top 4 are separated by 17 points, so any one of those top 4 guys could take the championship fight, could take over the lead of the championship at the end of this race. And of course this is a very difficult race, as we're on board with Dark Plague as he comes across the line. It's a 1:16.7, decent time to begin with. Now here comes our Brazilian driver. He is second at 1:16.8, looking good there from Catarada. He's gonna hate me, isn't he, by the end of this stream? Yeah.
I think it's Ronaldo, but without the Ron, so it's Cataldo.
Cataldo, yes, that's it. That's why Knowles is here.
So that's what I'm going to call him. So I'm going to have to deal with that. He's going to have to deal with it as well.
Asdog goes second in the Mercedes, very close, 1/100th of a second away. Gator Nation's out. That's not. It's he hasn't got qualifying by now. I think he's visited the wall.
Gator Nation.
Oh no! So that's a shame there for the American driver. And anyway, let's go back with the championship then. So we've got a massive gap back. His 5th position is actually my co-commentator of Prize Kumquat. He's of course decided to
co-commentator.
Yeah, he decided to hang up his gloves and come and do the easy life with me. That's the main reason why I stopped racing, because I couldn't keep up. Anyway,
trying to pronounce everyone's names is what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, we're trying to improve our our languages and all that. Anyway, in 6th position we've got Mr. Elite, Asdog in 7th. Matt, who hasn't been here for the last couple of weeks, is 8th, so he's come back off holiday, refreshed and ready to go, and he's up there in 4th at the moment. In 9th position, then we have a Storm, and 10th position we have Gunnar. So that's the top 10. In the constructors, it's Red Bull now starting to get a bit of a stranglehold on this constructors, as they have got quite a well, they haven't got a sizable lead in terms of the points, but yeah, they've got a lead there, good old 20 points behind. Storm goes up to 4th position in the Williams at the moment. We got Force India dropped down to 3rd. Then the rest of it is status quo. So we have Toro Rosso 4th, Mercedes 5th, Haas in 6th, Renault 7th, Sauber 8th, Ferrari in 9th, and Williams in 10th position.
It's a good championship race. I think it's going to be tight between top 5, top 3 or 4. At the moment, I think NWBD and Nigel are going to be battling it out, but I think they'll be contested in the races, at least, by the new entry Dark Plague, who came in last week, SNRS Far, who's also joined us recently. So those two guys are down in the 12th and 13th in the championship at the moment, but I expect them to be picking up some big points as we go through. So it's going to get tighter at the top.
It is, isn't it? The pressure's on Hunter as well now, isn't it? Now it's under, because whatever happened in Germany, he wasn't going to lose the lead, but now it's definitely a realistic prospect now, isn't it? Hunter, of course, won the first race of the ALR season, as he goes third at the moment, so decent time there from Hunter. So a good way to start qualifying here. We're just watching Grillsy now in the Mercedes. As I don't think the only other reserve we've got Todd, who's in 10th at the moment, and we'll go to Todd in a minute as he's in the pits just sorting out his setup. Well, not his setup, sorting out his tyres and things like that. We've got Storm, who's retired, but I think he's just not retired if that makes sense, so he will participate in Q2. But yeah, Todd, what's going on down the pit lane at the moment? Are you just having a look at the weather? What's your strategy for the remainder of this Q1 session?
Well, I set a lap on the soft, just like a banker lap, but I don't think the softs are going to be good enough to get into Q2. So I've gone out on the ultras.
What's the weather looking like
actually at the moment?
In the race?
Bit cloudy. I don't know about the race yet. I haven't quite looked at that yet.
Okay.
But I shall give you an insight as soon as I get back to the pits after I've set my lap.
No worries. Have a good lap.
Perfect. Well done, Todd.
Thank you very much.
That's why you can see that's a great insight of what the drivers are thinking, what they're doing, and how they're going to attack this qualifying. Because this is all about strategy, which is the main reason why I retired and hung up my gloves. Because I'm not very good at the strategy part. I'm not even good at the race part either. Anyway, we're watching Murphy now, who's in the Haas, and I think he's just getting his sight lap in. And we got Farf, who's gone into the back of someone there. I think it's He's gone into the back of Matt, and he's going to be given a 5-place grip penalty there. Oh dear, we didn't see that on the stream.
He's gone into the back of his teammate. They're both on the same out lap, and it looked like it was into turn 2. He just maybe outbraked himself or something. As Dan Murphy goes fastest on with a 16.3, just in front of Grillsy, who's done a good 16.3 as well. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I didn't catch him myself, but it looks like maybe he was trying to get an overtake to get in front of his teammate and set a faster lap, or be on track further ahead of him, and gone into the back of him somehow.
And NWB just goes
his chances are very good.
No, that's good. That's a massive blow, isn't it? 5-place grip penalty is pretty, especially around this track. That's going to really hurt him, isn't it?
Yeah, I imagine so. Especially off the first few laps when everybody punched off. It's going to it's coming to the pit now. He's not even setting a lap.
Yeah, that's not very good at all. We can't comment on that yet, so hopefully we'll get some information in the comments below to see what happened there with Farf. But that's a big shame, guys. We're on board with Double now in the Ferrari. Of course, he is Broke's teammate. Of course, we've got Broke with us going through qualifying and in the race, so we're doing like a Sky Sports here, and we're basically picking our favourite driver and talking. Obviously, they just talk to Christian Horner when there's nothing going on. So we're just watching Double now coming into the final sector of this very technical, twisty circle. I remember it used to be called like a Dust Bowl kind of thing. It was also Monaco without the barriers, even though there is barriers very in close proximity to the circuit. Double coming around the final corner. Now look how long this final corner is. It's really, really painful on the tyres, and Double now goes up to 12th position. Good time there from Double, 3/10 of a second away from his teammate. McVicious is in 13th in the McLaren. Of course, he's filling in the second McLaren seat this week. Godzilla 14th, and Risto is in 15th at the moment. Then we got guys who aren't set a time yet. Gunnar, who's got a qualifying ban. We got Farf, who unfortunately got a 5-place grip penalty. Gator Nation, unfortunately, is not going to participate, because I think he visited the audience. And Nigel is in 19th at the moment, and he is just well, he's got 7 minutes to go, so he could just bide his time there.
He's biding his time, isn't he? I think he's going to the best strategy for Q1. I think, especially for the really faster drivers who's going to be up on the front row or somewhere about that, like Nigel. You've got one set of tyres that you need to use in Q1, and that's one set of ultra softs. You don't want to wear them out too much if you want to use them again in later sessions, or even later on in the race. So you might as well just sit in the pits, wait for the track to rubber in a bit, and then go out there and set a time to get through into Q2.
That's a very good point, actually, isn't it? Because I must admit, I think that's very good planning as well, isn't it? About you cannot just drive around and do lap after lap after lap on these ultra soft tyres. You've got to. It's not like a free practice where you can just pound around for like a good 10-15 minutes. You need to plan forward about how you're going to use these tyres as well, because it's limited on the tyres these days. It's not like the good old days where you had where you had all sorts of tyres and you could just use as many as you want. We're watching Godzilla now come around the final corner, and he's improved by 7/10 of a second there, so good time now from Godzilla. He's almost...
I have some weather information for the race.
Excellent. Fire away, Todd.
It's going to be dry in the race.
Oh, good.
But yeah, so hopefully it should be a good race.
Yeah, definitely. Because around here, I remember there was an amazing statistic, which is really fascinating to me for some unknown reason. For the first 20 years of the Hungary Ring, it never rained on race day. So between 1986 and 2006, it never rained. And then on 2006, of course, that incredible race where Jenson Button won from 14th on the grid. He come through to win, one of my favourite ones. Especially when Andy Davidson commentating as well. I love that young man.
That was my favourite race too, that year.
It was brilliant as well. So I must admit, that's one of the races I will always remember. I think it's just the fact of the way Button just celebrated. I see his wild eyes when he got out of the car. It was just amazing. He looked proper possessed, didn't he?
I reckon if Jenson Button was still racing today, mate, I would still give him driver of the day.
a big fan.
He's such a, I was, mate. I was a big fan of Jenson Button, and then when I heard that he was retiring, I thought, well, it'd be sad to see him leave, but you know, some drivers just feel the need to retire, don't they?
Yeah, it's a shame really. They can't last forever because it's a bit of a young man's game these days. Formula One, as you can see, all like Lando Norris, Jos Verstappen. Look at Farfare really having to put some input into that steering wheel there. The back end trying to get away, coming out of turn 4. As Farfare is on his second lap of the Ultrasoft tires. Remember, he's got a 5-place grid penalty for what we think he ran to the back of his teammate Matt. So that wasn't very good team play there, unless they were trying to do a toe in turn 2, which is not advised. And coming now. Yeah, obviously practicing the toe ready for Monza in a couple of weeks' time. We've just done the 4 minutes to go. Farfar is now just coming around the final couple of corners. Nigel decides to come out as well, so he's in the Red Bull. Of course, at the moment, Nigel's looking very good, isn't he? Only 10 points behind Hunter in the championship, and also Team Red Bull is now topping it. So what Farfar comes as he comes across the line, he is looking for 116 here. Does do a 116. Good time there for Farfar. Very good time.
Very good. Yeah, I think the times in Q3, obviously if it's dry as well, it sounds like it will be from Todd, but yeah, they'll be probably about this sort of time, but in the 15s, so there'll be a second or so faster once the track's been well, once everyone's acclimatised to the track, obviously, and the track's rubbing in a bit more. So it's going to be part of the top, I think, this time.
Yeah, it's quite amazing actually how much the track evolves over this from Q1 to Q3, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I found that myself on the last race.
The second theoretical best is a 1:15.8.
Wow, that'll be amazing.
That's what they're predicting.
And to be honest, I think as well that they'll be able to get into the 115s as we touched on a minute ago about the track rubbering in and getting quicker and quicker. I reckon they will be in the 15s. We're just watching Risco there. Risco's improved very nicely actually. He's gone down to 21.9 now, so he's really taking chunks out of his time. The more as Godzilla is going very wide there. I thought he was going into the barrier there. So I was grimacing there as Risco looks like he's having troubles on his tyres, but he's going for another run. He's 16th at the moment, so he's out of qualifying. He's got 2 minutes to go. We're on board with Nigel. As
Here he comes. This is going to be quick.
Of course, we expect nothing less from our Nige. Of course, as he comes around the final corner now, you can see Urs has already run out there, and he's done a 16.4 there. So. As Risto is out of qualifying, so we've lost Gunnar, Gator Nation, and Risco at the moment. Godzilla is also on the cusp. He's 3/10 away from McVicious. As Broke Gorilla has.
He's coming. Oh dear, there's been a crash at turn 1. It looks like.
Yeah, it's Risco, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I've retired is because I feel I can get through to Q2 with that time.
So. So Todd's took a gamble there, but I think he's going to pay off, to be honest, because Godzilla, who is still in the pits, and I don't think he's going to get out now, so unfortunately that's our 4 drivers out. So we've got Godzilla out, we have got Risco out, we've got Gunnar out, and we've also got Gator Nation out as well. So, oh, is my laptop's asking for a update? No way, not yet. Alright, we've got 1 minute to go now, and the track is... Not very busy to be honest, but we're going to have a look at Matt now. Of course, we haven't seen Matt for a couple of weeks. He's been enjoying his holidays, and he's returned to us this week. And hopefully he can start to climb up the championship now and have a consistent end to the season. At the moment he is 12th, but that doesn't really... Well, he's done 4 laps on those ultra soft tyres, so I think he might just be getting his iron. And of course, Twan there, our favourite ALR...
Twan.
Our favourite ALR fan is back in the comments already. So we'd like to hear what Twan's thoughts are on this qualifying as well. If you remember, Twan, of course, joined me in the comments box back in Bahrain, and with some great insight as well. And of course, he didn't tell us about his demon starts, which I was a bit disappointed by. So hopefully he will before the end of the season. But yeah, because I definitely need.
He's not going to let anyone know that then.
No, yeah. Farf is just it's just commented that he's got a 5-place grid penalty for nothing. So yeah, that's a shame, that is, really, isn't it? For Farf, we didn't see it on the stream.
I think it seemed like some sort of connection issue briefly, because apparently Matt was looking to in the lead Toro Rosso, sorry, at the time he was trying to let him past, and then it seemed, it sounds like Farf went into the back of him, and obviously got the penalty and damaged front wing, just really for that. But yeah, so I'm sure we'll have to look at the footage of that in a minute or after the race.
Oh, it's such a shame, that is, really is. But hopefully we're all our F1 fans have pinned our hopes on the 2019 game, which comes out in a couple of weeks. So no, Toronto's looking really good. It is. I'm really looking forward to it. As Cataldo comes into the pits now from 9th position, making his debut today. So very impressive stuff from Cataldo there. So yeah, looking right up there, looking very quick at the moment in the second Red Bull. As Twan is just putting a prediction. NWB had to get first as he's your own driver in the McLaren. Of course, if you've not heard the news, Twan is now in the McLaren, and he will be returning next week for the Belgian Grand Prix. So we're looking forward to Twan back in the car. We haven't seen him.
It's going to be raining there, Twan, so watch out.
Yeah, that's a way to start. You get to grips your new steering wheel with a bit of rain and Spa.
All wet for the whole thing, qualifying and all.
Oh dear. And you can see NWB and Twan, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for the remainder of the season with the McLaren. Of course, at the moment, McLaren are second in the constructors, so it might have an almighty battle between the Red Bull and the McLaren for the remainder of the season, which is good stuff to see. We're just waiting for the clock to count down. Excellent, we finally got someone to retire. So, Todd,
back on top.
Todd, how did you feel in the first Q1 session? What's the track like?
Yeah, it felt alright, actually, the track. I had a few sketchy moments due to driver error, but other than that, the track seems pretty nice.
Awesome. So so as you can see, then Farf's got a 5-place grid penalty. That is such a shame, that is. So we got Gator Nation, Gooner, Risto, and Godzilla all out of Q1. So we're now going to go to Q2 now, and this is where it starts to heat up. This is where strategy gets involved as well now. So we'll be talking to Broke Gorilla, who will be trying to get into Q3, but also he will also have to think about the strategy element. Remember that, as NWB is already getting team orders on the go. Multi 21.
That was between Seb and Mark Webber, wasn't it?
Yes. That infamous
multi-2-1.
that infamous Malaysian Grand Prix in 2013. So I'm glad that we had a bit of action in the Malaysian Grand Prix, because up until that point, apart from there was a bit of rain at the beginning, it wasn't really a great race, if I recall.
No, I don't think it was.
I do miss the Malaysia Grand Prix though. I kind of hope it does come back soon, but I don't think that's looking less and less likely now with the Dutch Grand Prix return. We've also got a Grand Prix in Vietnam. I've seen a Grand Prix in Morocco as well. That's also on the card. So at least they're expanding their horizons. Liberty Media.
I also heard there was going to be another one in China as well, in another location, obviously. But I don't know how detailed that is, if it's just a rumour at the moment, obviously.
I think I've heard that rumour as well. Is it? I think it's. They was talking about a street circuit, weren't they, in China?
Yeah, I think so. It would be interesting, I think, but yeah, I think. Well, the problem is all these new circuits come along and they pay the money to have their race for a couple of seasons or 2 or 3 seasons, and then they lose interest and then it goes away again. And that's when we bring back the older circuits, like the Mexico's that's returned and is now looks like it might be going as well again, and the French Grand Prix, that sort of thing. So where they've got historic races, or it's historic Grand Prix races, and then they've just decided that it's not worth the money to fund it anymore.
Yeah,
which is a bit sad.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. One of my it's a Hunter is going a bit wide there. I think he's just testing the limits of those medium tyres. Yeah, one of the things that I read, which kind of broke my heart the other day, and that was Sao Paulo might be going, the Brazilian Grand Prix might be going to Rio. So I'm a little like, no, I know.
Terrible.
We've heard in recent years about Sao Paulo not being the most safest place in the world, but yeah, I'm just a little gutted, to be honest, about that. As Evil Hunter now starts his lap. Remember, in this qualifying session, you can see there's a mixture of tires. We've got the soft, we've got the ultra soft, and we've got the medium. So this is where they're going to determine what tires they're going to start on. If you're in the top 10, you must start on the tires that you set your fast lap on. And a lot of our regular viewers are probably getting bored of me saying that, but of course we get new viewers all the time. Well, I hope so anyway. And of course, welcome, and I hope you're enjoying this. The fastest sport in the world, in my opinion, and the greatest sport in the world as well. So as we're watching Hunter there getting very wide into turn 4, going on the AstroTurf. Look at that! That was amazing, wasn't it? A bit of rallying there from Hunter, because the back end trying to step out there, going into the chicane, and this is where it gets very technical in the second half of the lap. You can see there we've got left, then right, and then we're going back left again. As you can see, I think he's trying to get those tires up to temperature there. Would you agree there, Nolsey?
Yeah, it's a bit of a wobble there coming out of that. Coming out of sector 2 really, and goes into sector 3. I think he's done an out lap, so he may benefit from warming up tires another way, but I think he's actually, judging by the ERS deployment, he's going for it on this lap, and he will be setting a competitive time on it. But what I think Evil Hunter, he goes first, obviously, with an 18.2. That's a pretty good time on mediums, but I think some people might be trying to beat that, especially even on some compound. But yeah, I think what you can do in Q2 is obviously go out on the mediums on the harder compound, hard S compound, and then you've got time, set a lap time. If it's competitive, if you get through to into P10, sorry, into the top 10, and you can get through and you want to start on the mediums in the race, then you've got that as a banker lap. But then there's also the possibility of going out later on in the session on the softer compound, well, middle compound on the softs, and the ultra softs if you want to. But it's effectively just helping the strategy a bit more, because you can then decide, are the mediums going to be worth starting on? Maybe not. Okay, I've got plenty of time to go back in, put the softs on.
I don't want you to reveal your secrets.
And he's just pinned it. Hunter's just pinned it in sector 3, well, beginning of sector 3.
Oh no, that's a big blow for Hunter. Of course, remember, there he is as well. That is the very tricky turn 11, 12-ish. I can't remember my turns around here. But
I don't know what happened there, because he was on an in-lap, it looked like, and he was just swerving around all over the place. So in the final stage of the sector 2, and then he came round the right-hander for sector 3, and he just lost it.
That is a big blow for a championship leader, that is, isn't it? That is, he won't get, I don't think he'll get through to Q3 on that time. Obviously that's a bit of a guess there, but oh, that's not great at all for Hunter. One board Grillsy then coming through the final corner, and I think he's just starting a lap actually, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on what Grillsy does. I think he's the only man out there at the moment, but that is incredible, isn't it, from Hunter? We've seen him go Larry a bit in on his outlap around that corner as well. So that is a massive blow for Hunter.
It might just be the setup of the car might not fancy that corner. I know the obviously turn 5, the long right-hander. If you get on that curve, you'll be spinning out, and there's not much you can do about it. But for that right-hander as well going into sector 3, it's a bit treacherous, especially if you've got a bit of the car doesn't have enough downforce. It'll probably do the same thing and just spin you out, and as you saw with Hunter, crash you into a wall.
Yeah, if you have a light rear on the around this track, then it does cause all sorts of problems. But that is incredible. That's a massive blow for Hunter. Yeah, as we've been talking about, because this is where it gets down to the championship. This is where we've got to talk about the championship quite a bit now in the final stages of this. Well, I say final stages, it's not really, we're only just over halfway through, but this is where the drivers are starting to look at the points. Well, I certainly used to, even though I was only on 0. And Grillsy comes across the line and goes 6 fastest on the medium tyres there. So good second attempt from Grillsy, and he wasn't full beans on that one either. Of course, we can tell that because down at the right hand side you can see that a bit of telemetry there. He tells us about what gears he's in, when he's using DRS. He's got deployment, harvesting, and you can see that he's got an electric bolt there with a 3. He was on 4 on that lap, so yeah, we know he can go quicker than that. We got our Cataldo now coming from the final corner. It's going to take me a couple of weeks to get it right, even though he does even help me pronounce it. So he's just starting a lap now in the Red Bull. So he's looking very strong. Our Brazilian driver is. So it's great to see. Great to see we've got a couple more nationalities in this league. This is what it's called a World Championship. You see everyone, so that we can get more the merrier. Obviously, the NWB now coming around the final corner, and he's done a 1:16.8 on the soft tire now. So a good time now from NWB.
Yep, that's a good time on softs. It's 8 tenths, only 8 tenths slower than the ultra soft time that he did in Q1. So it's yeah, obviously being 2 compounds harder, that's pretty good lap time, I think.
It is. We'll talk to Todd in a minute to see if he's got any information on the delta. What is the between the ultra softs and the mediums? McVicious will be going again for a second lap. We've got Red Bull behind, and it's Nigel who's 7th at the moment on the medium tyres. So, would you like to start on the medium tyres, Knowsley, or would you prefer to start on the soft?
Or would I think you could do either on this circuit. I mean, it all depends on how confident you are on the start, I think. So either way, I think it's roughly about sort of 19-20 laps on the mediums, and then the remainder, I believe is 15 or so on the softs for the race strategy. Obviously you'll have, it depends on what tyre you use in Q2. Obviously you would have worn them out a bit more in Q2, and then that'll be already on your tyres for the race. But either way on this one, it just depends on your personal preference at the beginning of the race, which one you want to be on.
Oh, so it doesn't make much of a difference then. It doesn't make much of a difference in terms of tyre warmth and stuff like that. So we watched Murphy go 5th position.
That's a good banking lap, so I think he'll be happy with that one to get him through into Q3.
In terms of pole position and stats at the moment, of course, NWB has got 3 pole positions to his name. He's only 2 away from our record at the moment, because the record stands at 5. So NWB, we like it to be topping the records. As we've just watched McVicious now, who's gone up to 13 for the moment. That's NWB's teammate for this weekend, before we get Twan back in the car and McLaren. Of course, Twan did start for the Salver, but of course he's now in the McLaren now. We've got Asdog out there on the ultra soft tyres, so maybe he's going for more of an aggressive run here. Asdog is, of course, in the Mercedes.
So you can make this strategy work, because you can do, if you've got the compounds available, you can do an ultra soft, and that actually Asdog can do, because he's quite nice to the tyres. But you can get a good handful of laps out of the ultra softs at the beginning of the race, and then you can pit twice. If I can get my words out. You can pit twice and put the softs on both times. So effectively, you're doing 30 laps on softs, and then 5 or so on ultra softs, which is achievable. There he goes, pole on with a 16.6.
That's a very good point, actually, about the tyres and how you and how you use them. So, what would you say you're quite delicate on the tyres, or are you more because you're more like a Jenson Button-esque, or are you more well, Hamilton is a lot better on the tyres than he used to be, but I remember Hamilton used to struggle quite badly on the Pirelli at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm a young Lewis on the tyres, put it that way. And I think again, it's the setup. The setup really has a major factor in tyre wear as well, depending on what sort of cambers you want to put on tyres and that sort of thing, and your ballast. So all those things will add up, and either you've got good tyre wear or you've got bad tyre wear. Obviously, the idea is if you've got higher, if you've got different cambers and that sort of thing, you try and get more speed out of the car at the same time. So it's a 50-50 on which one you want to do first. Do you want to have a stabler car or a quicker car? Do you want to have a car that's better on tyre wear but a bit slower than than some of the other competitors. That's the thing. It just depends on what your preferences are.
That's a great insight, that is. So you can see that there's more than 1 or 2 ways to tackle these race weekends or race meetings. So yeah, so that's great knowledge there. Well done, thanks Nosy for that, and hopefully that's anyone who's actually watching this, yeah, listen to that and take something forward. Because I certainly I will just take down a lot of notes. So you know, next race I'm in, which will probably be 2019 now. Yeah, you'll see me flying at the front. Lol. Anyway, coming into the final into the final sector now is we're watching Catarado now coming through the final couple of corners. He's locked up a bit on this circuit. He's very aggressive around here, and that's, to be honest, we do like some aggressive drivers. And now into the final corner, DRS is coming up now. He's got a lot of ERS left as well, so he's doing a good job with the ERS, and he goes first. So good time there, and look at that, not 3 tenths of a second at all, 100th of a second quicker than Asdog. So we got a mix of strategy out there at the moment. So we've got a couple of guys on the ultra softs, we've got a couple of guys on the soft. So look, this is looking good then. So at the moment, the drop zone, we've got Nigel, who's going to have to come out again. Of course, he needs to get a good timing. We've got double up there. We've got Grillsy, and we've also got McVicious out there as well. McVicious is coming around the final corner to start his lap. We're going to stay with Grillsy at the moment because he's on a lap. Mr. Elite is out there as well, and so is Broke. Of course, our inside scoop of what's going on in the race, Broke. He's doing a very good job in 8th position at the moment. Of course, standing in for Steve at the moment as Steve's unfortunately working on a Sunday. I feel so sorry for him. Grillsy goes full fastest in the Mercedes, and so Grillsy's out of trouble now, but Mr. Elite is in trouble, and so is Broke Gorilla. Dan feels safe at Trolleys. He's in the 17, so anyone who's in 17s, I reckon, should be alright. Would you say that's right, Donzy?
Yeah, I think. Well, I think he'll probably be alright on 17.7 with on the softs. I think it depends on those guys below him on the ultra softs, if they can get into that sort of time, and obviously him knocking out with the faster time on the softer compound. Interestingly, NWBB's coming down to finish a lap on the ultra softs. I don't know if he's going to.
No, I don't think he is he? I think he slowed down on the end of that, didn't he?
He slowed down, I think, on that one. Yeah, so yeah, I think from Dan upwards, you're pretty much safe. Storm's safe, I think. So yeah, it's just a question of those guys on the ultra softs and maybe Nigel and Mr. Elite, if they can improve on their time on the softs.
McVicious goes 14 fast as he's got time for one more run, but those ultra softs and Matt has also he's only got half a minute to get around, so yeah, it's getting a bit close. These guys are. Nigel is on his final lap now, so we're keeping an eye on Nigel. Elite is also on his final lap as well. Nigel will be the first one to cross the line and out of the final out of the 5 that's in the bottom. Well, Double's out there Broke is out there as well, of course, so we're going to talk to Broke in a minute. Coming across the line, and what does Nigel do? He's on soft tyres and he goes up to 5th fastest, so well done, Nigel. At the moment then, we got Gorilla, who's now in the bottom 5. Mr. Elite will become Double's coming around first, so we've got yellow flag in sector 1. Hopefully it's none of the bottom 5, which is visited the scenery. I can't see if there's anyone that's visited the scenery, so we should be alright. Double comes across the line. He is having a look. What's he going to do? He goes 10th. Good time there from Double. Gorilla's gone very wide.
Yeah, I had to go wide because of Mr. Elite.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, Gorilla's got in a bit of issues with Mr. Elite there, and I don't think Gorilla's going to be able to get through, unfortunately. So Mr. Elite is also as well. So we've lost Hunter, we've lost Gorilla, we've lost Mr. Elite, and Matt is the final one to come around now. So Double is at the moment on the cusp. So he's going between Double and Matt. Oh, this is a good old story, isn't it? Come around the final couple of corners now.
Come on, Double.
And now Battleborn and Matt then go around the final corner. What's he going to do? He's on the ultra soft tires. He flies in, and he is in Q. Oh, wow, what a time there from Matt.
Oh, wow.
Great time. He obviously saved it till the end there. He likes to keep us on suspense, doesn't he? And great time there from Matt. So, unfortunately, and Dan there... unfortunately, I thought a 17 would be enough to keep him, but that's unfortunate for Double. Just outside, but a good time there from Double in 11th position. Murphy might have been sweating a little more than he thought he would have done. So out of qualified is Double in 11th position. Hunter is in 12th position. 13th position is Broke. We'll get to Broke in a minute, unfortunately, but it looks like him and Mr. Elite might have held each other up. Mr. Elite didn't get a good time either because he only set his time on the soft tyre, and McVicious, who is in 15th at the moment, I don't think he got the best out of those ultra soft tyres, unfortunately, McVicious, but because it looks like his first lap he probably could have gone a bit quicker, but I think he made a mistake on his first lap. But yeah, what a head to Q2, good stuff.
And Matt's not doing himself any favours. He's going round on his in lap.
I just made my
glass
see
on the tyres.
Mr. Elite in the paddock.
What was he doing the
Mate,
second
he could
lap?
see I was coming round, but yet he still didn't move out the way. What chat's he in? Because I'm going to give him some stick.
Got a bit of fisticuffs going on, and Matt then, who I thought he would have gone the pit spells. Has the game took over Matt's car? Has it? Looks like it.
It
Don't
might
it?
have done, yeah. I think it's well, the time's up, so it should be yeah. I think it's in AI now. So we're just waiting for there you go.
So just watching McVicious come around in the 15th position. Of course, any of our long-time viewers would know that McVicious started with us right at the beginning, and he's been dipping in and out. So it's good to see him back in the paddock. And yeah, I think unfortunately he did had a bit of issues on his opening lap. Let's go through the qualifying then. So unfortunately we got McVicious out, we got Mr. Elite out, we got Gorilla out, we've also got Hunter out who binned it, and we've also got Double out as well. So in Q3 we got Matt, but he's starting on the ultra soft tyres, as will Cadraldo will also start on the ultra soft tyres, Asdog on the ultra soft, and then on the soft we got Farf, NWB, Nigel, Grillsley, Black Plague, Dark Plague, sorry, I don't know, I think I was just doing my history there, Storm, and Murphy. Oh dear. Anyway, we're going into Q4, so this will be my usual line.
This is where it gets exciting.
Yes. No, he stopped me right on my track.
I would have been there if Mr. Elite hadn't messed my lap up.
It's unfortunate around this track because this track is very condensed and it's very short actually. This track is. It's a 36 lap race, so it's a very long old race. But yeah, it's very difficult traffic is around here, similar to Monaco, where everyone will be bunching up in the final couple of corners. It's yeah, unfortunately, it's the nature of the beast around here. We're getting Q3 now, so we got the top 10 shootout. So
Well, I'm glad he messed his lap up as well, to be honest.
I'm going to go for NWBB.
NWB, he could go for his fourth pole position tonight.
I'm going to
Which
go
is
for Nigel.
NWBB, Nigel, Farce,
The Todd's
Dark
gone.
Plague, Dan Murphy.
So Todd's gone for
My
Nigel.
top three would be Nigel, NWBB, and I reckon that new guy, that Brazilian, might get up there.
I'm not going
He's
to.
looking rather quick.
He's looking very good, isn't he, Cadraldo? I'm not going to pick because I don't want to get any backlash. So, but if you've got the two
And
Toro
you know
Rossos,
what, the Toro Rossos have come out very close together again, which is bad.
I know.
Well, so just remembering that Farce got a 5-page split penalty as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Reminding myself of that.
Yeah, exactly. Wherever Favre starts, unfortunately, he will take 5 places back on the grid. And it sounds like it was. It sounds like from what we've had is that it wasn't his fault. It's such a shame that it's from Favre. As we've now got 10 minutes to go, so we expect at least 2 runs from all drivers. Well, we like to see 2 runs from all drivers, and of course, tyre allocation will also come into play. NWB is out on the medium tyres, and we've got 16 viewers. Hello everyone, and you've joined us in what is going to be a great qualifying, well, end of qualifying, and also the race will start in just over 10 minutes time. Matt is letting Storm through there. I'm just trying to see who is first across, who's going to be first across the line. It will be Murphy, so Murphy in the Haas. He's really upped his game lately, hasn't he, Murphy? He's been there or thereabouts.
NWBB, sorry. It's NWBB is on. Oh, he's on medium tyres. What's he doing? He's slightly ahead of Dan, but he's on the much harder compound. So I don't think there's time to be very competitive.
Tech guys, I'm just taking the bathroom break.
No worries. So I think in hindsight, it was good for Todd to not qualify for Q3 then. As so we're now coming through to coming through. Yeah, you're right, Aaron. So why is NWB on the medium tires? Would you have any reason for it, or is it just taking the play out of your playbook?
Yeah, maybe he wants to just get those are his least worn tyres or something, and he wants to just get a bit more practicing on the track before he goes out on some ultras and gets pole position. So we'll have to wait and see what he does next. But he might come in on this lap if he wants to, or is he going to set a lap time? No,
he's happy.
So he's going to set a lap time on medium compound tyres.
So here comes NWB, they're coming across the line now. Of course, he's debuting Cannon, he's done a 1:17. What about Murphy? Murphy comes across the line, does a 1:16.2. So, and oh no, I think the Brazilian is, Quadrado is kind of visited the wall, hasn't he, or has he just retired? Favre goes into a 1:15.5. Good time now from Favre. Of course, if he qualifies first.
I didn't see where that happened, but yeah, Favre's done a, 15.5 is absolutely brilliant, and I think the other guys are going to see that and need to get some. Well, in NWB's case, get some ultra softs on and try and beat it. But Nigel goes a 15.9, so a bit behind Favre. But Favre will be hoping to qualify in pole as far as he can, so that he doesn't drop back so far with his five place big coming.
Yeah, he might have to do a Michael Schumacher where he qualifies on pole and just start 6th or something. And it's a shame for Favre because he's been looking very good, especially that lap. But I think that definitely got people to sit up and take notice there. So unfortunately, Quadrado is not going to take part in Q3 as he is off the track. So we've got Favre who's provisionally pole. We got Nigel 2nd, Grillsy 3rd, Murphy 4th, Bilton in 5th, Asdog 6th. We got Storm 7th, NWB 8th. Quadrado is down in 9th, and Dark Plague is 10th at the moment, and is just sitting and enjoying himself in the pit lane.
So I think everyone's coming in now, so it'll be a short wait while they put a new set of ultra softs on and maybe wait for the time to put down a bit more, and then they'll be getting going on that.
What would you do? Would you come out? Would you like wait for a couple of minutes, or would you come out whilst the track is completely clear?
Well, what I would do, because especially in a short lap time on like Hungary, is you've got enough time actually to do 3 laps, and obviously get out and come in between. So I tend to put some old ultra softs on immediately go out, set a reasonable time hopefully, and then I'll have time to come back in, put a new set on, do another time and improve, obviously with less worn tyres, and then I've even got another new set to go out with later on in the session at the very end. So I don't know whether some of the drivers might have done that. It's possible they have, so that they can maybe get an eye on. Obviously, it looks like Favre has put on a new set, judging by that time. But I might not be so sure about maybe sort of Dan Murphy and Storm. Maybe they might have done that time on the used set and was just trying to bait people into thinking they don't have any pace around the circuit at the moment.
It's all about gamesmanship, isn't it? It's incredible. We're just on board Nigel there. We're just on board Nigel there as he's coming to pits, and he looks like he was having another go there because he was only 200 of a second off his time coming in on his second run there. But he will be in the pits now. I think we just got to quickly touch on something. I think after last week we had a couple of issues with the pit lane, with the pit exit. I think that the pit assist is now off, so that's a new challenge to the drivers, isn't it? So it's quite difficult to get your car slowed down, especially if you're so used to just blasting the pit lane, especially somewhere like Canada. I remember I just had full throttle, just went straight in there. But now you have to now you have to think about it and really like time it, and that could potentially be a 5-second. It's a 5-second penalty if you go over the white line over the allocated speed limit. So it's a big penalty. We're on board with NWB now, who's on the ultra soft tyres. Yeah,
so it's well, as you said, it's 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But what everybody's got to get used to is well, I'm not sure if they've got the pit lane assist on, themselves as well. So they have to, when they exit the pits as well, they have to turn off the pit assist. Otherwise, they'll be trundling around the lap with the pit assist still on. So they need to make sure that that's they manage that as well when they're trying to exit, especially if you're battling somebody close and you've done an undercut or an overcut. You need to make sure that you get on the power as soon as you can. And obviously with the automatic pit assist, it will let you go immediately when you're over the line. But sometimes if you get confused a bit or you forget, then it's better you spend the rest of the pit exit going at 37 miles an hour or whatever it is. So it's a bit difficult. I got 15.3 from NWPB on Ultrasofts. That's a pretty good time, isn't it? Here comes Dan Murphy. He does 15.9.
So yeah, so Murphy does a 15.9 now. We've got whilst all the other guys are just kind of seeing, just getting their foothold on the qualifying session. Dark Plate goes up in the third position. Good time there from Dark. It's maybe I should just call him Blade actually. And we're coming now around the final corner. I know Storm's in the pits. Asdog is now just starting his. I think he's just completed a lap actually. Storm is retired from the session, so that's interesting. Maybe he got a bit frustrated there. Nigel's still in the pit lane at the moment. Farf is on an out lap. So Todd, before you went out in Q2, what was your what was the track like? Was it rubber in? Were you getting more confident?
To be honest, for me it wasn't. The car wasn't gripping as well as I thought it would as the sessions progressed. I was sliding around a little bit on my lap.
Oh, was it?
I think in this Q3 there seems to be a lot of rubber being laid down at the moment.
Do you reckon you got the wrong way on strategy in terms of one lap performance, or is it just more? Do you reckon it's just a tire, just the track conditions?
I did choose the wrong tyre strategy because I went for a balanced tyre setup, but I should have gone for the harder tyres more than a balanced setup.
Thinking more along the line of like the race strategy and things like that, yeah. And
yeah.
So to be honest, it's quite a difficult choice, isn't it? Because I remember it used to be a straightforward one for me. I used to go on balancing it out for the best. But now the more you get into this, more you get into league racing, you kind of have to think about it a bit more about the characteristics of the circuit, and how you want to attack the weekend.
Yeah, and also you want to try and qualify as best you can against your opposition.
Yeah, because
ideally I'd like to get pole position, but at the moment, because I'm not the fastest of drivers, I just go out, set a couple of laps, and hopefully, get into Q3. But obviously, I had a bit of traffic in the terms of a Renault, but these things happen in Formula One. You can't predict what's going to happen.
Unfortunately not.
Sorry, just to interrupt there. Dan blocked Farf on an out lap. Farf was on a flying lap, and Dan was coming out the pits, and he didn't notice that Farf was there, and just blocked his turn into turn one. So that would be an issue, I think, later on. But so he's still up on P3 at the moment.
Unfortunately, I think because Farf only improved by 800ths of a second on that lap, and I think Murphy is just also coming up against some traffic as well. I said Nigel in there, but I think Nigel got out of the way, and I think there's a Mercedes in there as well. But don't quote me on that, because yeah, I was because unfortunately I can't listen and hear it see at the same time because I'm terrible. But yeah.
Farf is retired from the session.
Yeah, time's up now, so no new times, I don't think, unless Rastov just cut the chicane there. Bilton Matt might have got across the line, I think he has, yep. It looks like he's low on fuel. NWDB's on a flying lap.
Yeah, so So everyone's crossed the line, and apart from Dark Plague, who's now not going to be able to not be able to finish his time. But to be fair, I think that yeah, but, I think Dark Plague would be happy with her for a position there. We're on board then with NWB in the McLaren, who's at the moment just going to have another crack at this afternoon. This is his third attempt now, so he's done 3 laps then on this Q3. So that hits so exactly what Nosey said earlier on, that you can have a go with 3 laps around here. It's a very tight track, as you can see. We've had a couple of blocking issues. Nigel's out, so
I think Nigel crashed.
Nigel's...
And so's is that Grillsy? I think Grillsy's off as well. And Dan Murphy's gone into the back of him, it looked like.
Oh dear, it's getting a bit messy.
He's stopped he's stopped as well, and so's Matt. I think Matt stopped.
Oh
there
dear.
was a lot of them going through there with very very close together. So if there was a bit of a bad moment by one of them in front, it would have caused a whole lot of problems with about 3 or 4 of them afterwards. So I think there was a bit of a mess that was caused by whatever happened to Nigel there, because it's had a knock-on effect on Dan, Grillsy and Matt.
Yeah, unfortunately we have got a couple of comments about people being blocked around here. So obviously everything will be looked at after the race, but yeah, that's unfortunate for Nigel, because it looks. I think you've hit the nail on the head there again. It's it looks like because they were all quite bunched together. I was just having a quick look around the where guys were starting to lap, and Nigel, Murphy, Grillsy, and Matt was quite in close proximity of each other, which didn't help. We also, unfortunately, I've got to say sorry to Dan Murphy as well, because unfortunately he was on board with him when he kind of clipped the inside of the barrier when coming into the pits, so that might have not been his finest moment. Anyway, so Todd is now getting ready to race up, because he is where are you starting, Todd? He's at 13th, is it?
13th, I think. Yeah, 13th. I'm starting on the grid.
No worries. So we'll talk to Todd on the formation lap in a second, but before we do that, you can see NWB is on pole position, as Twan said in the comments. It is very important around here. It's very hard to overtake on this track. Farf is second, but he will drop down 5 positions. Dark Plague is third. We've got Nigel, then Dan Murphy, then we've got Grillsy, Asdog, Matt, Storm, and I think Catarado has left the session, so I don't know.
Yes, he has. I'm not sure if he's going to be back in time, actually.
No, so that's unfortunate for the debutant there, because he's been looking very good as well, hasn't he? Up until Q3, he was looking like in the mix.
Yeah, so, I think he would have been up there as well in Q3 if his connection had been a bit more stable. So yeah, I would imagine he'd be around the mid runners in there in the top 10.
So this is what you'll come to see now. You come to see the race then. So we as I said, we got Todd in the like as a first person kind of perspective on the race. So we'll talk about Todd and his strategy in a minute. Obviously, we're going into too much in depth, because someone like me might be listening and go, "Oh, that's a good idea. I might do that." So yeah, we'll talk.
If you crash.
Yeah. Anyway, we're just waiting for the drivers to ready up and get ready to go, because they're just picking their strategies now. So what Todd will be doing right now is just, because he's outside the top 10, he will be deciding on what tire to start on. Will it be the ultra soft, the soft, or the medium?
Soft.
So Todd's going on the soft. So right now, let's just go through the field then, and then we'll just have a chat with both Nosey and Todd just before the start. So then we got a 18 car grid, unfortunately. Oh, we've already got Sauber off. Well, that's not the finest moment in the world. So we got Gator Nation then, who is in 19th. Then we got Gooner in 18th position. We've got Resco in 7th position, Godzilla in 16th, we've got McVicious in 15th, Mr. Elite in 14th, we've got Todd in 13th position in the Ferrari, and he is starting next to Mr. Elite. We've got Hunter, who's in 12th position. Unfortunately, Hunter didn't cover himself in much glory in the qualifying session. He is the championship leader, but he's got to fight his way up from from the midfield here, so this is a very dangerous place to be in. All the guys that we've gone on so far are on the soft tires, but Double is on the medium tires, so that's going to be interesting. Obviously, Catarado is not going to start this race by look. That's unfortunate for our debutant. Storm is on the soft tire. Then we've got Matt who's on ultra soft. Watch him come flying. Farf who's on did a 5th-place grid penalty. Unfortunately, I feel that was harsh. That was harsh as well. As Dog in 6th position on the ultra softs as well. His teammate Grillsy on in 5th position on an all Mercedes front row. Murphy in 4th. Nigel 3rd. Dark Plague in 2nd position and NWB in 1st. So Todd, have you decided about your what did you feel? What's your attack going into turn 1?
I'm just gonna back off a little bit so I don't get up into any mischief.
And George, that's very wise words actually as well, because this turn 1 is very difficult, and you can get into a lot of trouble. As I think Cleon found out to his cost back in 2005. He did a bit of a roly-poly. Nosy, what do you reckon's going to happen?
Well, hopefully it's a nice clean getaway for everybody, and it's not too bad of a turn 1. I mean, it really bunches up. So if you are on the inside and somebody wants to go around the outside, you're a bit trapped in there. So hopefully everybody gets through without any damage.
Excellent, and now we're ready to go then. We've got 3 sets of lights on, we've got 4, we've got 5 sets of lights on, and when we go out we'll be racing, and it's go! And good start from Nigel. There's a lot of wheel spin coming off the line. What Dart? No, because I think that Nigel's up in the second already, because Dart Plague's had a bit of an appalling start, and we've got a bit of yellow flag already. We've got a Mercedes coming on the inside, but look at that, very well controlled by all those guys out there. Amazing stuff. And a Hunter there, you can see coming through. He's up to 8th already. Brilliant start from Hunter. We got disqualified from the session for Gator Nation. Is unfortunately couldn't get away.
Yeah, he didn't move off the start. But Dan's crashed it in turn 2.
Oh no!
That was bad, that was.
And Dan is out. Dan is not out of the race. Sorry, Gator Nation's out of the race, but Dan is dropped down to 7th position. We'll talk to Knowles in a minute about what's going on there. But a great start from Hunter. He's up to 7th already, from 12th to 7th in a couple of corners. But at the lead at the moment, we've got NWB who's controlling the things. Nigel 2nd, Asdog 3rd. Dark Plague has dropped from 2nd to 4th. Far 5th. We got 6th is Matt. 7th is Hunter. Storm is in 8th. Grillsy 9th. Mr. Elite completes the top 10 mode. McVicious 11th. We've got Todd in 12th position. Rizzo into 13th. 14th is Godzilla. We've got Double in 15th. And Gooners all over the back. And as unfortunately, I've just had a message from Catarado. He got logged off. And Murphy is recovering in 17th position. We'll have a look, see what happened to Murphy in a minute. So we'll come to Rue to complete lap 1. And good start from NWB, but it looks like the 2 rivals once again of NWB and Nigel Gomez fighting out at the front. We got Risco who's dropping down. He's out a lunge. That's a massive lunge on Double there. And the Gooners come through. Oh dear, it's a bit of a dodge him down. And into the pits comes Risco now, as Risco's in the pits from 15th position. Gooners up in the 14th. And we've also got Mr. Elite, and we've got quite a few guys in. Todd's going to be happy with this. He's up into 10th now. So Mr. Elite is in the pits. We've got McVicious in the pits. We've got Risco in the pits as well, as is Dan. Wow, that's a we had a very good start and a very clean start to turn 1. You can see there now as NWB has got a second gap over Nigel already. So he's already trying to gap out and get rid of that DRS zone. We got Storm who's just gone. Whoa! And I'm not sure if Hunter just went to the back of Matt there. Matt's AI in. I'm not sure what's happened to Matt there, but Hunter going around the outside. Good. Oh, and that's contact again.
Contact.
Well, it's an interesting start here, but I don't know why Matt's in AI, but there's a problem with the car, isn't there? As Matt's has gone off the track, he's come back on in front of Todd. Oh no, that's not very good there, and Matt's, I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on. Yeah,
this is a bit. He's holding everybody up, and I think if he is AI and he's not a go, you've got to be careful going around that. Go on the inside on that one, I think. Oh no, broken damage, and then Gooner comes through. Sorry, Mr. Elite comes through. No, it's Gooner, sorry. Yeah, but yeah, it looks like Matt's yeah, he's lost control of the car there.
That's unfortunate, and unfortunately Grilla's going to have to come in the pit. But what happened at the start? Did you see what happened to Murphy? And because we've also got Risco AI in as well. Sorry,
yeah. So yeah, it looked like he was going around the outside of, I think it was Farf who had a great start into turn 1, and obviously was on the inside for turn 2, and it looked like he went in a bit deep and made contact with, it might have been Hunter actually, who was going around the outside of him at the time, and somehow it sort of spun him into the middle of the turn and hit on the inside wall, and his front wing went straight into the middle of the, straight into the inside wall, and obviously caused him to get some damage that needed a pit stop to fix.
That's really unfortunate. As also unfortunate as the Ferraris, as it looks like they had to stack there, and that's cost double a heap of time, and he's now down in 70th position. Just go back to the front, then Asdog is now caught. There's a bit of a trade behind Asdog. We've got Dark Plague and far all over the back of it though. As Asdog is coming in the pits after only 3 laps on those ultra soft tires, but he's the top man on the ultra soft tires. We've got a 3-second penalty for McVicious. As Farf is now trying to line up Dark Plague, but he might be too far back there. Hunter's up into 6th position, so great start there from Hunter. We'll see all about what moves he did, as well as how he got up there. Matt is now looks like he's back in the mix. Oh, a bit of contact there between Plague and Farf. Farf is going on the outside. That's going to be amazing. Look at that. That's brilliant. That's amazing racing there from both these guys. Great stuff from Dark Plague to give him room, and great stuff from Farf. Very brave right now. He's going to go into turn 5. He's going to do the old switcheroo.
He spun it? Oh, you thought? Oh, sorry. I think a bit of network there, because it looked like he spun on the inside of that. As usual. Sorry. And he settled onto the place.
And we're now just going to join the battle here. And we've also got a battle between Storm, Hunter, and Grillsy. We got some great battles out there already. That was a great move from Farfield on Dark Plague, wasn't it? A great respect as well from both those guys.
Yeah, they kept it very clean. Obviously, so they're battling for the last podium position at the moment. So it's they probably didn't want either of them to gain much of an advantage. But they control it very well, and I think Dark Plague is banking on sort of getting him back later on, especially in PRS.
That was a phenomenal move. That was very well done. So I got big props to both of those guys. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. It's Double who's cruising. I think he's just getting out of the way, is he? He is getting out of the way, so I think he's just getting out of the way. No, good stuff from Double there. It's it's quite hard to get out of the way, especially around this track. Hunter has now got a good old run then into turn 4 on a Storm, and he's just sat behind him alone. But I tell you what, Hunter's really good at the starts, isn't he? I reckon he's got the old Renault system on his car. He just seems to launch off the line.
He gets some good starts. The problem is unfortunately for him, he's had a bit of contact here and there on those starts and other races, which has obviously pushed him back down the order and made it a bit unfortunate for him. But he can get some good points here, I think, and it'll be challenging all the way. Especially for the 5th and 4th places, I think. Oh, contact there between Todd and Dan Murphy, but I think Todd's gone off there and he might have a bit of something damage.
So we're lap 6 now then, as we're on board with Dark Plague then, who's in 4th position at the moment. And the battle resumes. We've also got a battle between, I think you're right there, Nosey, because I think that Hunter does have a bit of wing damage on the front there. I failed to spot that, so that's going to also be hindering his performance. But he's doing a good job to keep up with Storm, isn't he? Because that is no easy feat.
I think he's if he has got some damage, it's not affecting him too badly, is it? So he's still got a lot of pace. It's whether or not it will start making a few cornering problems and a bit of maybe some time penalties might start adding up if it is that bad, and he doesn't want to put at the moment because it will affect his strategy, obviously.
Asdog has just got in front of Godzilla. Gooder has left the session, but he's ghosted. So it's a bit of an interesting start to this Hungarian Grand Prix. Murphy goes up the inside, track position over McVicious. Good opportunity. Oh look, but McVicious has come back at him, and he's got the inside going into turn 2. But Murphy there will have the track. Oh,
he's not got it. He's not got it. It's just, oh dear.
Yeah.
It wasn't as clean as Farf and Dark Plague, was it? But I think they'll have to take it, and Dan will have to try again. on the next DRS zone and catch back up to him. Storm's left the session as well, it seems.
Yeah, we've got a couple of gremlins here at the moment, haven't we? For guys that are getting disconnected, and you can see at the moment Hunter is all over the back of Grillsy. As the battle for 5th position resumes, Asdog is now up into 9th position. Storm is ghosted. We got oh, sorry, it's Godzilla who's right on the back of Guna now. So Guna is not actually in the car at the moment, nor is Stormzy. Stormzy? That's a rapper, isn't it? And so is Storm now out in 11th position. Hopefully we'll know what's going on with this disconnection in a second. We're going to resume the battle now between Murphy and McVish as they come across the line. As Murphy is in DRS range again. Yeah, it was a bit it was a bit of a winsome moment between these two in turn 2 last time, wasn't it?
He's covering the inside this time, and Murphy's going to have to go around the outside if he wants to keep going. Oh, he gets pushed wide there. That wasn't very good racing. I don't think a bit unfair a bit unfair from Vicious on that, because Murphy has nowhere to go, and it's best. Well, obviously you want to stay on track and have some fair racing, and he seems to just force him a bit wide and off the track there. But yeah, he's not going to let him go past easily, is he?
No, yeah, and we do like a bit of tough fighting, but I think that sometimes, yeah, I think that you might just have to give the driver a bit of space. I think that's the rule. Is as long as you give the car, as long as you give a car's width space, then it's all good. Well, to be honest, I think you need a car's width and a bit more, really. But
well, he got well in that instance. Then he got completely forced off the track by Vicious, which is probably a penalty of some sort.
Yeah.
Well, I hope Matt gets a penalty for blocking me.
I think the Matt's issue is something to do with the for some reason he AI'd with someone else. So I'm not sure if there's an issue with the connection here, because we've lost 2 drivers and we had 2 drivers AI there. We'll have to investigate this after the race, really, and see what's going on in the.
I've got all the footage anyway.
Dan's going to try again here. He's going around the outside yet again. He didn't get pushed wide this time. He's got the RS to attack again.
We're going to go for the switcheroo here. We're on board with Dan at the moment. This is the battle for 13 and 14 for the moment. It's getting very hotly contested, and is he going to get the inside to turn 4?
Don't do that. That'll be death by cornering.
And of course, remember, as I think Hunter's got in front of Grills here, but yeah, it's good move there from Hunter. Unfortunately, he missed the end of it.
So he's just got, and he's managed to defend it on that second DRS zone. So he'll be, he's all, like you noticed, all the top 6 are on the same one common tyre and the same duration of it as well, 8 laps. So they'll all be boxing around the same time. So he'll need to, well, Hunter will be loving this actually, because he'll be back up to the heights and top points with all the others. From starting from 12th, wasn't it? So he's done a great job of gaining those positions. He's gained 7 positions in the first 9 laps.
Obviously, he wants driving today, doesn't he? Murphy's now up into 13th position now. He's just got by McVicious. McVicious went a bit wide, and so Murphy is now up, and he will be attacking Storm and Gunnar, who are both not in their cars at the moment. Hopefully, they will rejoin it a bit.
That'll be a dream for Murphy. I think he probably would have got a bit frustrated with Vicious on those defending moves in the last couple of laps or so. So he'll now be able to get away and get going.
And Dark Plague from a very long way back had a bit of a good old dive bomb there on Farf into turn 1, but no foul. So we continue on. But wow, that was a very far back move. That was a Ricardo S move, but unfortunately didn't get it. Didn't work it out in the end. Hunter and Grillsy still haven't finished with each other yet. The battle rages on for 5th and 6th at the moment. Everyone else is spread out slightly, but it's good for us because we can actually just keep an eye on the action here. Nigel is not too far in front of Farf, as Farf almost getting a bit larried out of the exit of the chicane. Yeah, Nigel is only 2 seconds back, and 2 seconds in front of Farf, and of course NWB is only 3 seconds in front of Nigel. But yeah, some great fighting up and down the field. we're hopeful. We're not sure what's going on with the connection at the moment. We want to see Gunnar back in this race. We also want to see Storm back in this race as well, and hopefully they can in a second. And coming around in the final corner, we've got Farf and Dark Plague still battling for the final podium position. We're only on lap 11 out of 35. There's still a long way to go in this race. Pit stop's still got to come up as well, so this race is far from decided, as McVicious is now in front of Storm, as Storm is now dropping down the field, unfortunately. And Matt is just coming to the pits.
Look at how much time McVicious was holding up Dan. He's done one lap and he's already he's over 4 seconds ahead of him now in a lap and a bit. Dan was either pushing very hard or he was losing a lot of time behind McVicious there.
Yeah, it looks like he's just like he's been released, hasn't he? He's flying up there now. He's just outside the point. He's 16 seconds away from Mr. Elite, who's in 10th position at the moment. Matt has just come to pits and fitted some soft tyres. It looks like he would be on a 2-stop strategy, because there's no way those softs are going to go to the end, are they?
No, we had to pit earlier, didn't he? For I think he didn't his car pit when he was in AI. I think he's actually if he's come back. He must have had to make another pit stop, it seems.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure if they did fit, but that could be a possible reason why he's come back through the field now. It's just in the onboard footage there from Dark Plague, he looked like he was going into the barrier. That's great car control from Dark Plague. He's dropped a second though off Farf, so he's going to have to claw that back.
I think with soft tyres on the front runners, we've now done 11 laps for the top 6. I think these soft tyres are going off now, so the car point for a one-stop, the pit window for a one-stop is usually about lap 14, lap 15 for the softs, and then you put the mediums on and they can run the distance for the last 20 laps. So we'll have an active pit window in the next couple of laps, I think.
Excellent stuff, and of course Matt has just got into 8th position, just got by Godzilla. Godzilla, of course, is improving every weekend in this league, and he's in the points at the moment, so hopefully he can stay there. But he's got a couple of fast guys behind him. Mr. Elite is hunting him down, as is Murphy as well, who's in 11th position. McVicious 12th at the moment. We've got Gunnar, and you can see Farkas just lapped Storm, who's 30th and 40th with both. We got Risco in 15th position. Then we've got the 2 Ferraris of Todd in 16th and Double in 17th position. We'll go to Todd in a minute to see how his race is getting on. I think he's had a difficult opening couple of laps in this Hungarian Grand Prix. We're on board then with Nigel, who's at the moment second at the moment. He's just under 4 seconds back. And there's a Twan who's in the comment section. He said that the top 2's already decided, he reckons. Well, we've got a long way to go in this race, so anything can happen. And yeah, it usually does, as the great Murray Walker used to say. And Farf at the moment is in 3rd position. Dark Plague is just clawing back the time at the moment, so we've got we can actually now breathe a bit easier after the frantic 13 laps there. We've heard about what Nosy reckons about the pit window opening. So what do you reckon then? You're gonna stay out as long as possible, or would you come in as soon as you can?
Me, I'll probably try and stay out as long as I can. Then maybe start in the pits sort of a couple of laps after I was meant to have gone in, and see how that played out. Oh, Risto got a bit sketchy.
And Risco's got a 3-second penalty at the moment. And yeah, so at the moment then we've got NWB lead. 2nd position is Nigel. Farf is in 3rd. The Dark Play 4th. Hunter, brilliant bit of driving from Hunter. He's up to 5th at the moment. Grillsy 6th. Asdog 7th. 8th position is Bilter. 9th is Godzilla. Mr. Elite is in 10th at the moment. And Farf is, because Nigel's in the pits from 4th position, and also in the pits is NWB as well. So our leaders come in the pits. They're on the medium tyres and they're coming out now. And so I think it's going to be status quo at the front at the moment. Hunter's now up in the 3rd position. So NWB comes out. Is he going to have a clear track? He does have a clear track. Amazing stuff from NWB. Strategy perfect. Same with Nigel as well. These two are going to be fighting very hard for the remainder of the season, as is Hunter and as is Murphy. Hopefully Murphy can get back in the top 10 because it's going to be great to see, isn't it? Having the 4 top drivers battling out for the championship. Risco is dropping down by the looks. I'm not sure what's happened to Risco there. He's.
I think
there might be some undercuts here because it looks. I think the soft might have been able to go another lap or two. Maybe NWBB and Nigel were wearing them out too much, all based on their setup and their driving style. But I think Farf might be interested in this because he might be able to gain at least gain a bit of time on Nigel, if not possibly overtaken. Because the obviously the warming up of the mediums does take well, depending on your capability on warming them up and that sort of thing. It does take a while sometimes. So I expect them all to come in. Hunter's coming in now. Dark Plague and Farf have obviously carried on. So I think it's playing into Farf. Oh wait, and Dark Plague's left the session.
It looked like he was leaving the session.
It's not playing into his hands anymore, but it's playing into Farf's hands. I think that the other 2 guys have pitted early because he might be able to get out at least a bit closer to him. If not, he might be able to jump Nigel.
And Asdog is just lapping one of the Ferraris there of Double, I'm sorry, of Gorilla there, and so Asdog is down for the 6th position. Grillsy and NWB are going to be into combat in a minute for the final podium position. So do you reckon the overcut is powerful around here, or is it undercut and then for Farf?
I think it's probably worth going for the undercut and lose higher. I think he was about 3 seconds behind Nigel, wasn't he, on the pit going along. So if he boxes now, he might have gained a couple of seconds or so on that, depending on how his pit stop goes.
And you can see just in front we've got Dark Plague who's disconnected. That is such a shame.
He's got a 3-second time penalty, so that will be a factor at the end of the race, especially if Nigel can keep it in.
And into the pits comes Farf, so Farf's in the pits, and you're right there because I don't think Nigel's got a penalty yet. Into the pits that goes Farf and Grillsy. Dark Plague is into the pits as well. Is Dark Plague back in this? I think he's not, is he? I haven't seen him come back in. No, his car's still ghosted. So Grillsy then coming in and coming back out. That's such a shame, lads. We've got a lot of disconnections tonight, so apologies to all the participants.
Oh no! It looks... Oh, I don't know if that's correct on my screen. Sorry. It looks like he put softs on Dark Plague. Is that correct?
He's on the medium tyres on mine. I was just making sure that was...
Sorry. Again, that would have meant you had to pit again, and obviously under the line. That's not great.
And now Hunter is he'll be up into a net 4th when Asdog comes in. So Asdog is going for more of a longer first stint. So on the second stint he will have fresher tyres, which will pay dividends. At the moment, that 3-second penalty is not going to hurt NWB so much because he is 4.6 seconds in front. Farf is in at 3rd position. We got Asdog who's yet to come in 4th position. And we got Risco who is now just coming through the field. As you can see, we've got a lot of ghost cars out there at the moment. And as Godzilla now comes out, McVish is 11th. Dan Murphy is now up into 10th position. Such a shame. My heart goes out to all these guys. Look, we got 3 ghost cars just cruising around in the second sector there. Luckily, they're only ghost cars and not not anything else, because that would cause all sorts of chaos. But yeah, it's such a shame for those guys, Storm, Gunnar, and Dark Plague, or it's not great. But yeah, we're looking to that after the race. There's we've got your flag in sector 2, and that's why Godzilla's pointing the wrong way in turn 5. So he's just trying to recover back on now.
Yeah, it's that right-hander, so he must have put his front right on the curve, and it's just taking him around in a circle.
Yeah, it's a very slippery old curve, that is, isn't it? You got to be
definitely.
got to be careful on there. Rumboy Hunter now, and he is now coming up to the back of Asdog. Let's just take a look at the positions that have been changed. Then Hunter has gone up 7 positions, so obviously he's the big mover of the day. Unfortunately, Cadrado is dropped down 9 positions because he disconnected, which is such a shame for the debutant. He is looking one to keep an eye on, though, definitely if he returns. Hopefully he does. And also, but the active drivers at the moment, which has been hurt, is Storm. He was right up in the top 10, and unfortunately he's ghosted out. We've seen we've got Gunnar as well, who's ghosted out as well. And Murphy, who of course was involved in a first corner incident, and second corner incident, and he's dropped down as well. So it's got some more days out there for a couple of these drivers today. Hunter's now up into 4th position, Grillsy up to 5th, Asdog is coming into the pits, and he will change onto the medium tyres and go to the end now. And Matt, who pitted quite early on, because he's got a pit again, I think, so he's going for, I assume he'll go for the soft again, won't he, Nolte?
Well, I'll have to go for the soft one because he'll have about 10 laps or so to go if he gets at his latest. So it might be a bit difficult for him to be on the road course for that one, but I don't know, he's a trier, so we'll give it a go.
And we've got a couple of yellow flags out here, there, and everywhere. So it's a bit chaos out there, and not in terms of like the racing, but in terms of what's going on out there. There's yellow flags, all sorts, ghosting. Gosh, been a bit of a messy race this with us. Yeah. And now we're on board with Matt. Then he is in 6th position at the moment. So, but we have to.
It's not raining.
Yeah, for the time being. But even when it doesn't rain, we still get chaos, don't we? So we're on board with.
Closest battle at the moment is the Ferraris actually. It's double and break the rear. I'm just on board with them at the moment.
Yeah, so we're on board double now. He is hunting down our man who's he was. So I reckon double was listening to me there, and he's like, "Yep, you're not gonna have the you're gonna be able to commentate on that." Fair enough. So he did the pit.
I mean, he's probably almost at the drop-off point, and there's no point in him carrying on there and causing maybe even a double stack in the pits with both Ferraris, because Todd will have to come in a couple of laps or so as well. Looks like Double's got a time penalty he might be serving or something like that. He was held in the pits for quite a while.
Yeah, to what's happened in the first stint as well, where the both Ferraris had to stack up, and it caused some major issues for the Ferrari mechanics there. And as they're all starting to spread out now, because this is the nature of this circuit, because it's a stop-start circuit.
Matt's gone into X against his name.
So Matt is having a bit of trouble today, and you can see he's it looks like he's had an adventure as well, because he's damaged the end plate on that Toro Rosso, and he is really slow at the moment. So he's very slow, and I'm not sure if there's a problem there with the Toro Rosso. This is Asdog is going, it's just coming up behind him. Got another yellow flag in sector 2, but I'm hoping it's just Matt. Yeah, he's got an X against the thing there. And then, oh no! And Asdog and Matt, they're coming together there. I'm not sure if there was damage on the Mercedes there. He looked like he got away with that, but Matt is very slow, and Mr. Elite is coming up behind him as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's oh dear. No, that's not good. I don't know whether that was a network issue, and it looked like it for us, but he got off even straight into the back of him, and Mr. Elite into the back of the Matt.
Oh my gosh! Matt's left the session, and I'm not sure if Mr. Elite has damaged his wing.
That's the safest, I think, because I mean, he needed to. There was a problem there, wasn't there? And I think. He was causing a bit of grief for Mr. Elite, wasn't he? So
yeah, I think that was Matt's wing that was damaged, and I'm hoping Mr. Elite got away with that. So unfortunately, we're losing a lot of drivers today, and it's not their. I don't think it's their own fault. I think it's connection problem. So to be honest, we've done really well so far. Actually, I think this is round 12, and we haven't really had many connection problems. So
it's
Risco, isn't it?
Yeah, he's on the curb in sector 2, the dreaded curb. Down to the chicane now, so he's going to have a couple of people coming up behind him now, I think.
Well, in terms of this is a very good day if you're one of the drivers who don't really score many points, because from their perspective they could get a handful of points. We could see McVicious getting the points, we could see Godzilla and even Risco getting the points as well. Todd in a double might have a chance as well, as they're going to be flying on those new medium tyres. As yeah, there's Matt now. Matt has joined again. Matt has got no front wing, So Nigel's got a 3-second penalty. Matt's now.
That's his first one, I think. Dan Murphy's in the pits for. I'm guessing he'll put some softs on now, and he'll go to the end. But second stop.
I've had about 6 stops.
Of course, Todd is with us in the pit in the commentary box today. As Dan's in, and he is doing on the soft tyres. We got a yellow flag in sector 3. So now McVicious is up into 9th position. So good driving there from McVicious. He's but unfortunately, I think that the battle's going to be renewed between McVicious and Dan Murphy for 9th and 10th position. So Matt is in and out of the pits now. As he rejoined, he is still ghosting now. This is just costing Matt all sorts of times, and this might cost him valuable points as well. Godzilla is up into 11th position now. Risco is doing a good job to us. He's done 18 laps on those medium tyres. that's a very good stint there for Risco. But I think he might need to come into the pits now. We got the Ferrari.
We're putting some softs on now. It's I think it's time for to pit for Vicious now and Risco. They might be able to get 1 or 2 more laps out of that, but they might as well put the softs on now because the softs will last 15 laps, so they'll get 13 laps of good pace out of them.
Yeah, that's a very good spot, Nose. I didn't see because Mr. Elite's also on 20 lap of medium tyres as well. I tell you what, these guys I reckon they pay for their tyres or something because they're really eking out, aren't they? And then now that has to be going on soft tyres now to them race. So they're going to have some blistering time now. Murphy is now going. I think he'd be quite happy that McVicious is coming in the pits there. So Murphy is now to 8th position, and
5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, or it might catch people out, and it's got somebody now.
Yeah, so they've done really well though, because this is a recent rule change. I must admit, I am against rule changes in the in season, as the FIA usually like to do it in real Formula 1, which has always had me pulling my hair out.
Yeah,
but this one. This one is justified after all the problems that came up in the. Oh, we've got a great battle between Matt and McVicious for 11th and 12th there, coming out right in amongst each other. So Matt is now back in the race, I think. We hope so anyway, and so he is up into 11th position. We've got a couple of penalties now coming our way, and so McVicious.
So they've got 3 seconds on just now.
And Godzilla.
Yeah, I've got a 3-second one as well.
Because we're going to, and we've got both Ferraris that might be in the battle. We're now on board. Then as Risco going a bit wide, as you can see, then we got and now Todd is lining up for Risco for a battle on 13th position. Nicely done that. And Risco come back at him. That was a long way back. That was. And now
die.
And now Todd now gets up in the 13th position, so Risco's gone wide, and he's got on the grass as well there. Double will be up behind Risco as well. I mean, I think Risco might need to come in the pits. I would suggest.
Just a quick one on the between Dan and Mr. Elite. Mr. Elite's on 21 lap medium tyres, and Dan's on new softs. Mr. Elite should have boxed a couple of laps ago now, because he's losing time to Dan and they were pissed, and he's gonna probably jump in the pit so he doesn't get in soon.
Yeah, you're right there, because there's 27 seconds between Mr. Elite and Murphy. It's about a 23-second loss in the pit lane, isn't it? Something like that around here. It's quite.
Yeah, but it was 30 seconds. It was over 30 seconds when Dan came out of the pits, so it's come down quite quickly.
It is. Every time we look, we see it's down to 26.7, 26.6. That is quite.
In the pits now.
So obviously he's been listening to the stream. Well done, Mr. Elite. So he comes out of the pits now.
It's called the battle between Double and Risto. So you've got to watch out there. There's blue flags being waved. He's got the fastest lap. They need to move out of his way. Oh
my gosh! We're on board. Risco has gone into the side of.
Risto just. Oh god, that was bad.
Oh gosh! And Double is out of the pits. Out of the race. Unfortunately, Risco swiped him. And he is now.
I think he saw. He didn't know Dan was coming until it was too late, and then saw Dan was going on the left-hand side and swerved to the right to avoid him, and obviously took double out in the meantime. Bit of a, I don't think there was much he could do because obviously he was battling with double until he saw Dan there in the last second. But,
I reckon he might have panicked there because of course Risto is fairly new to league racing. Unfortunately though, we took double out and there was kind of collateral damage there, but yeah, we'll unfortunately all these incidents have to be looked into, especially if the driver submits it. Mata has now returned back into the points, now he's up into 10th position. It's been a difficult day for connections today. As you see, we've got a lot of ghost cars here, so it feels like we're playing a game of Mario here at the moment in the castles. And you can see we've got Mata who's up into 10th, Mavicious is 11th, who's just got by Godzilla. Godzilla has had a good race today, and he's going to be just outside the points at the moment as we're watching Plague is dropping down the field, unfortunately. So Godzilla is, I think, this is one of his better drives today. Good stuff from Godzilla. We got Todd who's just 40 seconds behind Godzilla, but we've still got 9 laps to go. Anything could happen. We've got Risco in 14th, and I think that is the final driver remaining at the moment. NWB unfortunately hasn't had much airtime today, but I think he's just kind of having a lovely Sunday drive. Nigel is not having a lovely Sunday drive though, because Farf has
under
been
pressure actually. Farf's been gaining on him quite a lot in the last few laps.
Yeah, because
so it's going to be a bit. Farf might have a go here actually. He's been slowly catching him about a couple of tenths or so a lap in the last 5 or so laps, and got that almost down to DRS range, so you might see a change in the last podium positions.
We're on board now with Godzilla, but yeah, we've been keeping an eye on the battle between the Red Bull and Farf in the last couple of laps. Hunter is not unfortunately not close enough to get himself involved in that battle, but I think the Hunter might be driver of the day on this occasion. But it's been a very difficult day in this Hungarian Grand Prix. It's a very technical track. You have to keep your wits about you, and unfortunately though, it hasn't been the whoa in a Godzilla there, getting a bit too close to comfort for that barrier there. So yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this battle there between second and third, then between Farf and Nigel. Of course, these guys are one of the newer drivers in this league. I'm looking forward to seeing more battles between these guys as well, because they are very quick drivers, and they're coming into turn 2 now. I keep hearing a cat. Is it? Have we got another commentator on here?
No, it's my cat.
So we got an extra commentator on this. I think. Whoa, Farf has lost.
Oh dear, that was close. He saved it just in time, but that could be his chance of P2 over.
Yeah, unfortunately, that
wouldn't have done much for the tyre, would it? And I think he might have overstepped the boundary on that one, although he has got slightly younger tyres than Nigel.
Yeah, 2 laps, and that could be all the difference, can it? That was a great save from Farf. I think Ederson would have been proud of that one, as we're now coming into...
I would have put it in the wall then.
To be honest, I don't even got that far. I just went straight on, to be honest. And now we're watching a Farf who's... I think we've done the commentator's curse, unfortunately. I should have just left Farf alone until the end of the race, really. So, yeah, I'm not going to be as good books. And Murphy is now coming up behind Mr. Elite, so even though Murphy's on older tyres than Mr. Elite, he's really flown in the second half of the race there, Dan has. So good pace from Dan. Unfortunately, he's just been involved in a couple of minor incidents today, which, yeah, we're not sure about the second corner incident. I can't, but I think, did you catch it? Didn't you notice what happened to Murphy?
Yeah, so as I said, he was on the inside, and it seemed like he went a bit, he missed his braking point a bit, and he went a bit far into the corner, and somebody was on the outside going around him, and somehow, I don't know how it happened, but the contact seemed to spinning left and into the wall of turn 2 on the inside. So I'm not sure how it happened really, but it might have been some sort of network issue, but it definitely damaged particularly most of his front wing anyway.
Yeah, it's a big shame for Murphy today, so he's going to lose ground in the championship. It's all as 3 of his championship rivals, NWB, Nigel and Hunter, are all first, second and fourth at the moment.
So you know what, I regret asking to race for today.
Oh dear. Won't it make it'll be joint top of the championship, won't it, with NWDB and Hunter, because they're 10 points between them, isn't it?
I'm glad you sussed that out. That's what I've been quiet for the last 30 seconds. Maths is not my strong point. I need a calculator, you see. As we're now on board with 5. So yeah, so yes, that is so NWB and Hunter are going to be joint at the top of the championship. And to be honest, NWB has, since he's come in, has changed the game, hasn't he? He's had 4 pole positions now. And him and Nigel have been incredible. It's been incredibly well matched, and I'm looking forward to what can because Nigel and WB have got very good pace, but Hunter and Murphy have got consistency. Where sometimes where NWB seems to have some issues here and there, Hunter and Murphy seem to well, apart from today's obviously, Hunter and Murphy seem to come out unscathed. Unfortunately, I can't say that for Murphy today, and Hunter dropped in qualifying, but their recovery drives have been pretty immense, I must say. As you can see, Farf is now in DRS.
My maths is wrong.
Oh.
Because fourth place gets 12 points, don't they? Not 15. So NWBV will take the lead of the championship as it stands.
Oh, so
by 3 points. Sorry.
We have mathematicians. That's not our job. Our job is to keep you up to date. Murphy is now all over the back of Mr. Elite, and Nigel Farfus all over the back of Farfus all over the back of Nigel. We're on board with Murphy now. This is the battle for 7th position. So we're on lap 30 out of 35. It's been a very high attrition rate around here. We've lost Catado, who unfortunately got disconnected in Q3. Gator Nation didn't move on the didn't move, but remember, Gator Nation has been graduating today, so you know. I think he's had more important things to do. So congratulations to Gator Nation. Double and unfortunately coming together there with Risco and Gooner and Storm, who both disconnected 15th position, but they're not going to be DQ, not DQ'd. Not finishing.
Disqualified?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're going to be disqualified. Yeah, they're just not going to finish there. So that's unfortunate for those guys. And
might go for a move here. I think on the pit, he's just about to enter the pit straight.
Yes.
He's going for it. He's going for it now.
So he's put himself in. He hasn't. So Dan is looking at it, it's a stalemate.
Gone deep into turn 1. That's good. I think he's got the position now. He's got DRS to defend it. And if he goes to the inside, he should have it.
Yeah, Mr. Lee, I'm going to look on the outside there, and that would have been a brave move to go on the outside there. And Farfus in front of Nigel. So look at this. That's a great battle. No, not quite.
Wow.
See, that's why Knowles is here, you see. I keep jumping the gun.
I just noticed the arrows.
Oh, Farf is in the wall. Oh, where's it? I'm not sure if he hit the wall, but he's damaged. Yeah, he's damaged his end plate. And that's
he's got damage, definitely, yeah.
That is a shame now for Farf. So Farf has got damage. He's got 4 laps to go. He might be able to. He should be able to get to the end because Hunter is 18 seconds back in 4th position. But that is a shame because he was looking much quicker. Well, I wasn't saying much quicker than Nigel, but that was a really cat and mouse to fight there because Farf was just eating into Nigel's lead there. So well, that's a shame for Farf. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the championship though. It's looking good. A lot of fast drivers in here. Now Murphy should be 7th. Mr. Elite is now 8th. 9th is Matt. So Matt's had a couple of connections issues tonight, and that's why he's down there. McVicious is in 10th. And he's done a very good job today, McVicious. 11th position is Godzilla, who's just outside the points at the moment. So yeah, he'll be hoping that someone retires. But yeah, good job there from Godzilla today. I think this has been one of his stronger races. Dark Plague is out, unfortunately. We got Todd, who's had a very difficult day in the Ferrari. He's been unlucky as when we've been on board with him, but he's unfortunately been in the commentary box as well with us, and that probably hasn't helped the fact that he's heard me talking. Risco is in a 14th position.
Puts everybody off.
Yeah, I know. That's why everyone turns off the stream when it's race time. As I'm even upsetting the cat. As NWB there is now is now on that 32 in the McLaren. He's looked very good against a NWB, and this will be NWB's. Hang on a minute whilst I get myself collected. This would be, I think, it'd be his fifth. No, it won't be his fifth victory, would it? It'd be his fourth win. So he's had 4 pole positions now, and it'd be 4 wins as well from NWB. He is looking very strong. He's got a penalty for speed in the pit lane. To be honest, Esports have been very good with that rule change, haven't they? I was expecting a bit of anarchy, and I was expecting a lot of incidents from that. As Gator Nation has left the session.
Noticeably, Bristow's done 28 laps on medium tyres, and he's put the softs on for the last 3 laps. So bit of an odd decision there, but you know, we'll see what happens with any. That makes any difference to his race. Doesn't need to do what he's got his exposure.
Yeah, I think remember Risco is still learning, isn't he? But I think but he's now got another 3-second penalty there. Risco has, who's in 14th position at the moment. As we'll be talking to Todd after this race and see just seeing how it all unfolded. Unfortunately, it's been very difficult for Todd today. It's been very difficult for both Ferraris. NWB then leads by 7 seconds there from Nigel, who's second. Sorry, I think I saw the fly there. Nigel is in 2nd position. 3rd position is Farf, who's 5 seconds back. We got Hunter in 4th. We got a yellow flag in turn 4 here. Someone is visiting the scenery. I think it was Risco there. 5th position is Grillsy. 6th position is Asdog. Murphy in 7th position. Mr. Elite is in 8th position. Risco is off the track again. He's really struggling on these soft tyres. And so anyway, Mr. Elite is in 8th position. Matt in 9th position. 10th position is McVicious. So he is now going to get the point there. Outside the points at the moment is Godzilla in 11th position. Dark Plague, who has not been connected for the past several laps, is in 12th position, but unfortunately he's going to get a DNF. Todd is in 13th position. Matt is dropped down the order quite considerably. He's off the track. He's off the track in the middle sector there. McVicious is up to 9th, and I'm not sure. I hope Matt is still. Oh my gosh! I thought that the Mercedes was, and Matt's now in the wall. I think he's struggling, isn't he? I wonder if he's That was very close to Mercedes. Did you see that, Nosy?
Yeah, I caught the end of it. It was a bit odd. I'm just looking at the times actually. Rogue Gorilla could catch Dark Plague. It looks like.
I am catching him.
He's not in. He's obviously still in AI, and he's done about 10 seconds a lap. So he's doing a good job of getting good 12, I think it is. What else is going on in the meantime? I think the gaps of the front guys are all spread out now, so it's only the cat that's got anything to talk about. Really.
To be honest, it's more interesting what I've been talking about, what I have to say. Anyway, Godzilla's.
Risco's out.
Risco out the race. Did he crash? Did he, or did he?
I think he lost it somewhere, and he's unfortunately he's not going to get any further up the field this time.
So Godzilla is now in the points at the moment, but Matt is now going to be charging on those soft tyres. We'll keep an eye out and see what's going on to that to the end. So on the final lap now, and hopefully, and join us now as we're on board with NWB on his final lap now here in the Hungarian Grand Prix, going for his 4th career victory in ALR. He's already had his 4th pole position, and since then he has controlled it from pole position to checkered flags day. He's been in a class of 1, really. Yeah, the gap hasn't been higher than about, well, I haven't seen it higher than 10 seconds, but he only has to do, as long as he comes first, it doesn't matter how many seconds he is in front of Nigel. But yeah, it's been a very controlled drive from NWB today. He's been a class of 1, so he's coming through the final sector now for the final time, and you can see he's cruising now. Nigel a good second, and he's done. These guys done 21 laps on the medium tyres. Storm's done 25 laps, but we're not going to count that. And coming around the final corner now, and NWP comes around the final corner, and he wins the Hungarian Grand Prix, his 4th victory of his career. Brilliant stuff. Nigel comes around to finish second, and so Nigel is second. So good racing. Looks like them two are going to be battling tooth and nail. Murphy 7th, Mr. Elite is in 8th position. Farf comes through to finish 3rd. He was on Nigel's tail for most of the race. Hunter, what a drive from 12th on the grid up into 4th. So brilliant stuff from Hunter. Obviously he wants driver of the day, and it's going to be hard not to give it to him. Grillsy in 5th position in the Mercedes, and Asdog will come through to finish 6th. And we're just going to have a look to see as McVicious will be 7th. The question is Matt go? I think Matt's finished, so Matt will be outside the points. So a good point from Godzilla then. But so brilliant stuff from Godzilla. But here comes Asdog coming around the final corner then, as McVicious has got a 4-second. Is that gonna? I don't think that's gonna cause him any problems. So Asdog would be 6th. Murphy 7th. Difficult day for Murphy. Elite 8th. As 9th position is. McVicious, and 10th position is Godzilla. Brilliant stuff from Godzilla. As you can see, the McLaren teammates are celebrating on YouTube. As Twan and B will be teammates in next time out in Spa. But here comes Godzilla, comes through to finish 10th. A brilliant drive from Godzilla. I think he's done a good job today. So and we're just
race, wasn't it? I think in the end, I think there was a lot of action.
Mr. Elite, and then in the race. I got done by Matt because he was in AI.
And there's NWB then, who comes through to win his 4th career victory. Nigel 2nd. I think Nigel's been on the podium in every race he's entered in ALR so far, and consistency can be the key in this championship. And 3rd position was Farf, and Farf was definitely challenging Nigel up until where he damaged his front wing. Brilliant stuff, and we're just going to go through the final classification.
It's not bad for a German being on pole. On top, Connor.
Is he German?
No, he's not German.
No, he's not. Oh my god. Oh dear.
I noticed it on the podium because it was changed behind him, and I thought, oh, I'll just make it on about being German anyway.
No, he still didn't even notice. 4th position was Hunter. Grillsy in 5th. 6th position Asdog. Murphy 7th. 8th was Elite. 9th was McVicious. 10th was Godzilla. Great drive from Godzilla today. Unfortunately had a difficult day today. I think it wasn't his fault though. But Gorilla was in 12th position. A very difficult day for Gorilla as well. Dark Plague unfortunately disconnected. So did Storm and so did Gunnar. Risco DNF'd. So did Double in a 17th position. Gator Nation unfortunately didn't take his time, but he was graduating, and to all this, I was hoping he's having a good time. And unfortunately, Cadrado did not start the race. So that was an entertaining race, and very difficult for a lot of drivers out there. So Todd, share us your thoughts about that. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a difficult day out there for you today.
Well, Q2 was diabolical because Mr. Elite blocked my lap, and then in the race, Bill and Matt went into AI and totally messed up my race. But I've got it all on footage anyway, so I'll send it over.
Yeah, this is a very tight and twisty track of the Hungary Grand Prix. Yeah, it's also a short track as well. But of course, next week we will be going to Spa, in my opinion, the best track in the world. I think it has everything. So anyway, we'll see you next week then for Spa. But from here now, it's goodbye.